What's up, weirdos? What's going on, guys? All right, good evening. Just gotta send out my invite here, guys. We're gonna check the poll. We're gonna check the poll here and see who is my special guest. What the leading is. Everyone thinks it's Caesar. Okay, everyone thinks it's Caesar. Jesse in second, Max in third, and Rue in fourth place. Okay, so we'll see who the guest is as soon as they pop in here, guys. All right, so boom, my guy, my dude. What's up, buddy? How you doing, man?
Chilling, man. Loving this Saturday.
Yeah, exactly, man. Nice little. It looks like the market's flipping a little bit red, but I don't know. It seems like more of a sideways red, like because we had a little bit more of a pump 24 hours ago. It's just kind of basically bringing us back to where we were, before the pump last night. So it's not really red. It's kind of red, but it's like a 3% red across the space, right? Like, oh no, 3%. Though some people will take that as like a reason to panic.
Right.
So I don't know, man. I personally, I made a video talking about a little bit earlier. I guess one of the first things I just kind of wanted to shoot this, with you a little bit and see what you think's going on around the market here. What your take is on it. Me personally, I feel like leading up to the rate cut, I think we're going to see Bitcoin dominance over the next 2-3 weeks start to surge back to around 60%, meeting rejection up there at 60%, because I think there's a part of this whole altcoin season flurry that people are kind of forgetting, and that's that it's one of two things. I'm seeing a lot of people on X and on YouTube talk about, well, it's altcoin season because the altcoin season index says so, right? So we're about to go parabolic. Well, there's an altcoin season, and then there's the altcoin season, right? We have multiple smaller altcoin seasons throughout a cycle, like December, January of last year, right? We hit like almost a 90, I think, on the altcoin season index back in December, but it was just an altcoin season. It wasn't the big blow off top altcoin season, right? So I think that we're going to see Bitcoin dominance with the rate cut. I think we're going to see a little bit of a correction in Ethereum and the altcoins. Nothing like, not a flash crash or anything like that, but a minor correction, because, like I said, it's one of two things in my opinion. If you are of the mindset that we're about to go parabolic on the altcoins right now, well, then your opinion must be that Bitcoin topped at 124K, because altcoins don't go parabolic until after Bitcoin tops. We can have altcoin seasons, but they're not going to go on that true parabolic altcoin season run until after Bitcoin tops. So you must be of the mindset that Bitcoin topped at 124. However, if you kind of feel like, Bitcoin dominance is going to come back down, people seem to forget that for altcoins to go on that next leg up and to go parabolic, Bitcoin has to top. So logically, Bitcoin dominance has to have a little bit of a resurgence back to probably around 60%, maybe a little less, which means Bitcoin can make its next leg up, maybe 140, maybe 150K in the big picture, right? Not saying overnight, or maybe over the next few weeks. And altcoins will start to melt their way up after Bitcoin finds its level of consolidation, after it breaks into a new all-time high. That's my take on it. What's your take on it?
Well, brother, I was meditating on this in sunny Scottsdale. I saw something that Metallicus posted, and this is basically a continuation of what we went over Thursday in our exclusive for the patrons. Definitely check that out, guys. And I recorded a video for my patrons today based off of the information I found. So we could go over it just a little bit and have it in kind of relation to the Zebek, but respecting what I showed the patrons. And this is based on something that Metallicus posted. So let me share my screen here.
Greenhorn.
So this is basically kind of a continuation of what we talked about Thursday. We have an exclusive Patreon video for our guys plus Max's guys. Definitely check that out, guys. So we were talking about Ondo Finance. Okay, now there's some rules that are coming into place that are making things really, really nice for Ondo and tokenizing stocks and ETFs. So Metallicus posted something that referenced this article. NASDAQ makes push to launch trading of tokenized securities. Now, if you're like me, you might have been a little bit confused with this. Like, wait a minute. I thought we were beyond the whole thing about crypto being securities. Yes, we are. This is actually securities. Think about things like carbon credits. Think about things like tokenized deeds to, like things that Propy does, like tokenizing real estate. Think about it as that type of tokenized securities. So NASDAQ proposes trading tokens tied to stocks and ETFs. That's like what Ondo does. And then if approved, move with mark first instance of tokenized securities. Think about stuff like Dovu, tokenizing carbon credits and things like that, trading on a U.S. exchange. NASDAQ files proposal days after SEC agenda adds crypto trading rules. So NASDAQ is working with U.S. regulators on introducing trading of tokenized securities. Again, think carbon credits, deeds, things like that. Becoming the latest major financial player on Wall Street to double down on a boom in tokenization amid easing of crypto regulations under the Trump administration. If approved, the move would mark the first instance of tokenized securities being allowed to trade on a major U.S. stock exchange, and also signifying the most ambitious attempt yet of an exchange operator to bring blockchain-based settlement into the market system. So when we think about blockchain-based settlement, think about things like R3 Corda, which we know is related to XDC. Think about things like XRP, settlement on the XRP ledger. Oh my goodness, this is so huge. And just to show you guys something, with my patrons, I gave them a whole list, but pertinent to what we're saying, I want to kind of show you guys how this is already kind of hitting a little bit. If you go take a look at Dovu's price, shout out to Shook Focus Digital. This is the one he covers a lot. If we look at Dovu, which tokenizes carbon credits on the Hedera platform, it shot up. It shot up like 3x.
Didn't you drop that a few weeks ago over on the Patreon?
I think so. Yes, I did. So here we are, guys. And this is just the beginning of it. And this could be the tip off to an altcoin season. And along with this, if we get the XRP ETFs and we get these type of rules that make things easier for tokenization, then things like trade finance, XDC, all of that, this could spark a whole altcoin season. Now, before I go into anything with Zebek, what do you think about this, Rob?
I mean, I personally think that this project is still, even though we've seen this spike, it's still so early. $69 million market cap,
Yep.
10 billion max supply, almost 100% of it in circulation. Are you kidding me right now? Even with this pump, it's still early.
Yep, that's what I'm saying, man. And still early, not even 100 million market cap. I gotta believe it could get to a billion market cap, which is over a 10x at least. Another thing to point out, is that here, if you look at the contracts, this is also on Base, and it seems like they're running a lot of stuff through Base as well. So if you see something, a project that you like, and you see it's also on Base, you might want to snag it up. So this is on Base, Ethereum, and Hedera.
Yeah, this is like Base, and pretty much anything Base touches in this cycle, like Base is big, and it's going to get bigger, right?
Yep. So this is big news. Big news from NASDAQ, and this is something that Metallic has posted in their whole like metal update. So Metallicus seems poised to take off too, or otherwise they wouldn't include this in a news update that they listed. Let me see if I can find that particular update in case people want, go look at it.
Yeah, in the meantime, I'll just let people know that you can actually, if you're in the States, there's a lot of our families in the States, and they're always asking where they can get things, because being in the U.S., it's a little bit harder to be able to scoop up these kind of gems. You can probably get it, I'm going to bet, if it's on Base, you can get it on your Coinbase wallet.
This in particular, Dovu, so you can get it in Hashpack, which is Hedera's like, hot wallet. You can do it on Uniswap via Base there. Yep. So those are the two that I know like off the top of my head.
Yeah. Fantastic pickup, guys. Fantastic. I love it, man.
And you can see here, here's the article that MetalPay, so Metallica's had. And within this article, they mentioned the whole article I just shared with you guys. But in case you guys want to come check this out, I'll put it in the chat here for Rob, and he can choose to share it as he wants to, you guys. And I'll also get a link to my Patreon in case you guys are so inclined to go that route.
You should be able to post it right in the chat, can't you?
Oh, yeah. I didn't know if you wanted me to or not, so I will.
Of course. Why not? Ramona, dropping that cheddar. Thank you so much, Ramona. I appreciate you, as always. Our very own crypto mom. She hosts our open mic nights on Fridays and Saturdays over on the Patreon.
Nice.
Let's get into some of the comments here. Dave, what's up, boys? Good to see ya. Focus. Could you hear? You could hear a mouse in this comment section. Drop a rocket. Yes. Get the comments going, guys. Hit the like button. Toby says, great gem last night, Rob. Yeah, I dropped a gem in the Patreon last night. It's up like 102% from when I dropped it last night. Dropping.
Okay, it doesn't seem to be letting me post links in the chat. So I'll put it in the private chat, and you might have to share it. Okay, so there we go.
Gamma Goddess is in the house as well. Did you have more on this, like that you're on your screen?
No, so now we can kind of go into Zebek, and I already have a video on the thing that I'm going to show you guys, but I'm going to do a part 2. So you guys are kind of getting part 2 before even my general audience here. But one thing, let me share it.
I want to show you something before.
Okay, go right ahead.
Because you were talking about MetalPay and stuff, I just wanted to drop this, that Loan Protocol XPR is voting to add Cardano for collateral. So there you go, guys. Proof of stake blockchain platform design. Absolutely love it, guys. So if you are on the DAO over on Loan Protocol XPR, make sure you vote, man. Cardano is a great project to add, in my opinion.
Yes, indeed. And their lending platform, I also think lending platforms or any crypto that offers a lending platform is going to be very, very huge to watch. Some of the ones that I've told my patrons, of course, MetalPay, they have it right now. Swift blockchain, which we all talk about, they also have a lending platform. So the ones that offer lending are going to be huge. Go ahead.
I was thinking about that today because I've started to notice something. I think a lot of these projects are seeing the writing on the wall when it comes to lending protocols and stuff. I'm starting to see a lot of projects, a lot of ecosystems suddenly launching lending protocols. SwiftCoin launched one 6 months ago. I just read today, it looks like Shiba Inu, like Shibarium, I think it is, or Shiba Swap. They want to add a lending protocol into their ecosystem. I was like, really? Like, everyone's trying to get into that decentralized finance narrative, because I've been saying this whole cycle. Everyone's been pounding the drum on artificial intelligence, and I've been saying, no, decentralized finance is where you want to spend your focus. As soon as Trump came into the White House, what did he do? Decentralized finance, right?
100%. And Metallicus is going to be able to do it better than anyone because they have the connections to the credit unions. So it's almost like they could, they can attach metal lending to the back of a platform and people won't even know. They won't even know as far as TradFi goes. You could TradFi go into a credit union, ask for a loan, and they could give you something connected to Metallicus, and people wouldn't necessarily know, right? So,
well, don't be shocked to see Zebek come out with one as well. I mean, at some point, because you're seeing a lot of these good decentralized. It's almost like having a lending protocol as a decentralized finance project is kind of where the bar is going to be from now on. It's like the standard, right?
Brother, you segue instantly right into my next my next point, which is lending for Zebek. Perfect. So this is the perfect time to play this video. I will bring it up and let me know if you guys can hear it.
Growing a business requires capital, both financial and human capital. That's why businesses
we can hear
turn
it.
to Assure. Assure has filed more than $1 billion in HR-related tax credits on behalf of our clients. And with Assure, our lending partners tap into our nationwide network to compete for your business and loan you money. Our flexible outsourced HR services help you stay compliant with ever-changing HR laws and develop the talent you need to grow. And because our SHRM-certified HR pros work on a fractional, virtual basis, they cost pennies on the dollar compared to in-house HR staff. Our software helps employers with payroll, tax filing, 401k, time tracking, and background checks, while employees love their ability to manage their own HR records, access payroll before payday, and privately verify employment when applying for a mortgage or government assistance. Assure delivers both the financial and human capital tools you need to grow your business.
Okay, so I wanted to play it through one time for people to listen to it without me interrupting. And then I want to go through certain points here. Let me just grab certain points of the video here.
And develop the talent you need to grow. And because our SHRM-certified HR pros work on a fractional, virtual basis, they cost pennies on the dollar compared to in-house HR staff. Our software helps employers with payroll, tax filing.
So the Assure software helps employers with payroll, so helps employers meet payroll. And then the second part of this, which is going to come in a couple seconds, is they also have payroll advance for employees. So you'll hear that and you'll see it. It's called earned wage, and you'll see that coming next.
Filing, 401k, time tracking, and background checks, while employees love their ability to manage their own HR records, access payroll before payday.
To earned wages. So this company here, if we go to Zebek, it gave Zebek a award here. So let me bring that up here.
I'll give a shout out to Amazing Coins here in the meantime. So glad I could watch this live. Candyman. I tried to use my grocery store loyalty card to scrape my windshield, but I only got 20% off. Nice. My guy, Candyman.
So let me know if you can see this one.
Yep.
So here we're honored to receive the prestigious Gold Medallion Award at the Assure Software Annual Conference, and Assure is publicly traded. If you guys check out my latest video in which I say, this shows that Zebek will revolutionize payroll. I go into some of the stuff we're talking about right now, in which Assure, guess who owns a piece of this company? Assure. BlackRock. So BlackRock owns a piece of Assure, and guess what? BlackRock also is invested in Circle, and Circle is invested in Zebek. So this is BlackRock using an asset in Zebek to make an asset it's already invested in Assure even better. So here we go. Assure, one of the biggest payroll companies in the U.S. Assure processes billions in volume for 2+ million employees. Zebek is proud to be recognized as a key partner bringing stablecoin payroll innovation to Assure's ecosystem. So if you guys check out that video, one of the things I go over is Algorand says in that Algorand spaces that Zebek had, they talk about doing earned wage income, which is the first time anyone's ever been able to do this. As far as like this would be like a credit type thing in which they would offer cash advances to people, even though they're also paying them in real time, which should prevent them from having any need for a cash advance. They would also offer cash advances. And the reason they would be able to do that is through the Algorand technology, according to Simon in that Algorand spaces. So that would be the earned wage income part. And then this next part here is the company they just talked about adding here called Payroll. So Payroll allows them to do, it allows clients to be able to get lending for their payroll. So it's the first part of that video. So with Payroll, they can offer lending for companies to meet payroll. And then with Algorand, they can have the tech in there to do payroll advances, which is earned wage income for employees on the employee side of the Assure software. So let me just read this window. Zabak has partnered with Payroll Finance to fuse real-time stablecoin payroll with on-demand lending, payroll lending, giving businesses instant liquidity and borderless payouts. Zabak's PayBridge unit has successfully tested Payroll's lending tool with select clients over the past year, and will now be rolling out the Payroll across stablecoin payroll use cases in our ecosystem. So this is another thing they have. And along with this, they also partnered with a company called Turnkey. Now, I was looking at this Turnkey partnership, and basically what it says is it unlocks easy embedded wallets via Turnkey, crypto payroll alongside bank transfers, simplified stablecoin adoption at scale. So essentially what this company is going to allow them to do is whenever you log on to, like, say, a super app or something like that, you will be able to create a wallet almost instantly based off of like your profile, or you can even import a wallet. Say if you have a decentralized, MetaMask wallet or something like that, you can import it. But if you're a normal person who doesn't want to deal with that, you could just instantly create a wallet basically based off of your Google or Apple profile, pretty much. So Turnkey will allow them to do almost instant kind of KYC that they can embed into an app just simply. And if you go on Turnkey's X, they give an example of an engineer basically doing it. It's a little confusing unless you know coding, but basically all he does is use an Apple Wallet and basically get that Apple Wallet connected to, no hassle in like less than 7 minutes. So I brought up Turnkey and their site and all of their different investors. So you got Sequoia, Faction, Galaxy, Coinbase, and Bain Capital Crypto. Two of these investors might sound familiar. Coinbase Ventures is invested in Zabak, so it makes sense that they would also invest in this Turnkey for Zabak. And Bain Capital Crypto is where Simon Babakani, the CEO of Zabak, used to work before he did all he's doing with Zabak. So I'll bring that up really quick. Let me bring up his LinkedIn, and while I'm bringing that up, I'd love to hear your opinion on this, Rob.
I mean, I have a piece that I'm gonna be sharing kind of about it. So I'm holding back on it here until you.
Okay.
And let me know when you're segueing off of this topic.
Okay. So here we are with Simon Babakani. This is the CEO of Zabak now. You see here he was an advisor for Bain Capital. So it's very interesting when we see Bain Capital here as an investor in this Turnkey solution. Like, again, we're getting kind of all this synergy between all these different companies. Turnkey, Bain Capital, BlackRock, Coinbase, Ondo, the list goes on, right? And
you're starting to see the same list of customers that are always seem to be running in the same, the same packs here.
Yeah, and to me, it's just further confirmation that like Zabak's one of those chosen ones, right? Because they keep hanging out with the same guys, the Coinbases, the Bain Capitals, the BlackRocks, the Ondos. Like we can just completely put to bed the whole scam stuff. Like completely.
Oh yeah, I mean, the people who were saying that, I mean, just came from zero research, right? I mean, that's why I've always been an advocate for me personally. I'm holding on to probably somewhere around 5 million ZBEC for the next bull run. I'm not getting rid of it, right? Like, no chance.
Yeah,
It,
the back's like one of my largest holdings. I got like multiple millions of that. Like I'm really confident. Um,
I don't know why
yeah.
it's such a controversial topic, but or thing to say, but it truly does feel like buying ZBEC right now is like buying XRP in 2017. There's nothing wrong with that statement. It doesn't mean XRP is, bad or anything like that, or it's, like it's okay to hold both. It's okay to support both, and they don't even do the same thing.
And see, I think this gets into, and we talked about this a little bit in the exclusives, guys. Um, when Zebek first came out, people were like saying, trade your XRP and buy Zebek. So they
Yeah.
immediately kind of made themselves like adversaries of the XRP army, which was kind of crazy to think about, considering that Simon Babakani has told us that they've partnered with Ripple for certain things. They haven't completely come out with that, but we know they're on Upholds like the XRP exchange, if you will. They did a Spaces with the Uphold CEO. They're custodied by Anchorage Digital, which does a lot of custodying for BlackRock, a lot of custodying for Uphold, a lot of stuff with XRP as well. So they're clearly, and they also share an investor with XRP, which is Lightspeed Ventures. So
But
there's clearly connections there, right?
but how how wild is it though that people get upset at the prospect of Ripple and ZBEC releasing a product together? That's why is that a bad thing? If I'm an XRP, well, I am an XRP holder, but if I was one of those XRP holders and I heard this news, my first reaction is I gotta get some damn ZBEC too. I'm holding XRP. I gotta get some damn ZBEC, right?
I
I can hold.
agree. I agree. And to me, it's almost like how like Elon Musk will say like, I think AI is bad for the civilization, but like he owns shares in like OpenAI and like he has his own, AI company. It's a bit of like gamesmanship. It almost feels like to me.
Yeah, I agree. It, don't. But it's kind. It's but I mean, how used to it are we of these billionaires saying one thing financially, but doing the opposite, right? And that's why it's always important to be paying attention to what they're doing, not what they're saying. You've got Jamie Dimon on national television in 2022 telling people that Bitcoin is a pet rock and crypto is a scam, while the same week that he was doing that, JP Morgan was tripling their digital asset department.
Yep. And it's like, and two, that's another thing for people to kind of realize too. And they'll do things where they play around with terms. Where Jamie Dimon was saying like, "Oh, we love blockchain," you know what I mean? Like we love blockchain, but this
Yeah,
Bitcoin, no, don't mess with this Bitcoin. You see what I'm
literally,
saying?
literally, Bitcoin is. I remember that. I was like, what the hell is he? I love blockchain, but I hate Bitcoin. You might as well just
Right?
say rewording. I love blockchain, but I hate blockchain.
Right? And then, and that kind of covered his butt a little bit because JP Morgan is invested in Consensus, and Consensus does the coding for Ethereum and MetaMask, the wallet. So it's kind of like him, you know what I mean? He's being real tricky with those words a
Yeah,
little bit. But
he knows. He knows that the average retail investor, they don't dive deep. They don't even surface dive. Most retail investors, they have no idea. They just see Jamie Dimon on TV saying something, they're like, oh yeah, scam. They don't look into anything that he's doing, right?
right, the average investor would not know, but it almost covers his ass, his ass a little bit, because who even call it, Jerome Powell did the same thing. Like, he came out and he said, you know, we don't hold any Bitcoin, we don't do this, and none of what he said was a lie, except people have to understand that the Fed for America is a private bank. So although the Treasury, the American Treasury, had Bitcoin that they had taken from the whole Silk Road thing, that has nothing to do with the Fed. So by him saying, okay, we don't have any Bitcoin, like, you know, we're not allowed to hold it, all of this stuff, he didn't lie. And most of the public would think, okay, well, you know, I'm going to leave that Bitcoin alone. But the Treasury was already holding it. And the Treasury has nothing to do with the Fed. But most people don't know that.
He's splitting hairs.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. So people have to really pay attention when these guys start talking and not like read between the lines, because they're really tricky with their words. Extremely tricky with their words.
Be scam. I've been following you guys for years now, Rob, Rue, and Max.
Beeps.
Nothing but respect. Let's get rich together. Hell yeah, we will. Hell yeah, we will. I just want to cough. I'm going to do a quick segue here in terms of the lending protocols and just loans in general on blockchain, like we're kind of talking about here. What I wanted to show was this piece. Where is it here? Here we go. This piece here. Now, very, very interesting, right? Crypto bank executive reveals how on-chain collateral secures better loan terms. And this is why I think a lot of institutional money and bigger money, when it comes to taking out loans, I don't know, your Robert Kawasaki's, for example, who like thrives on becoming rich off other people's money, right? That's why this is so important, and that's kind of why we're talking about this. Like recent developments in the cryptocurrency industry highlight how on-chain crypto collateral is revolutionizing borrowing and lending practices with the blockchain ecosystem. As a digital asset like Bitcoin and Ethereum continue to dominate markets, innovative DeFi platforms are leveraging on-chain collateral to offer better loan terms for users seeking liquidity without relinquishing ownership of assets. One, that's why I say I will never sell my Bitcoin. Never. If I can use it as a forever appreciating asset that I can borrow against if I need liquidity, right? But this is talking about, without mentioning them, your ZBEX, your Onyx coins, right? Your XPRs, your MetalPace, your Moonwells, your Swift coins, right? That's what they're talking about here. When they say your innovative DeFi platforms leveraging on-chain collateral to offer better terms for loans. Right?
Yep, and now I'm not a tax guy, so do your own research there. But for you guys in the States, I believe a lending event does not produce a taxable event. Okay, so lending against your Bitcoin or XRP or whatever, you may not have to be taxed on it. Now, understand though, they're kind of hoping you're gonna F up, so they can just take your cryptocurrency. Okay, so you know what I mean? If you are going to do the loan route, you're not creating a taxable event, so you don't have to give, like 40% or whatever it is in taxes. Hopefully Donald Trump changes that. It makes it so American cryptocurrencies, you're not taxed on it. But until then, these lending platforms might be the way to go. But you know what I mean? If it was me, making the move, I'm probably going to take less than what I need so I can ensure that I can pay the loan back, and there's never a chance that somebody can take, can take my cryptocurrency.
Well, I do know people who actually will use their Bitcoin as collateral in a bear market, right? And then they'll take that money out, putting their Bitcoin up, and they'll buy more Bitcoin with it. So they'll put a Bitcoin in collateral, or 5 Bitcoins in collateral, and then they'll buy 5 more Bitcoin, and then they'll make their payments. They'll allow that 5 Bitcoin that they purchased to appreciate in value over the course of the cycle, and then they'll pay back the value of the 5 Bitcoin that they originally took out, and they've 4x'd the amount of Bitcoin that they have.
That's
right?
crazy. They 4x'd it along with Bitcoin going back up in price because they bought in the bear market. That's ingenious. That's nice there. That's really nice.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
But when everyone catches on to that kind of ability, it probably will die down, right?
Yeah, and you know, and really we gotta I thank my lucky stars because, like, you know, had we been the people that were like, okay, well, the experts say crypto's a scam, and not looked at it right, you know, we wouldn't be in the opportunity that we have right now. So I really thank my lucky stars that we're at this point. And with the crypto lending, this could be a way not to have to pay, you know, a completely legal and okay and cool way to not have to pay a ton in taxes.
Yeah, absolutely. And like you say, like it's the same thing with the bears, the panic sellers, I'm constantly on the people who whine and complain and all that kind of stuff when the market's not doing what they want. But at the end of the day, the panic sellers, guys, we need the panic sellers. The same way you just said, there would be no crazy volatility because all the panic sellers, all the paper hands out there, however you want to word it, whatever you want to call them, they're the ones who are selling crypto to you at low prices on red days, and they're the ones buying your crypto back from you on those green days when it's going parabolic. So you need them. As annoying and irritating as they can be, they are the sole purpose. It's the transfer of wealth from them to you, right?
Yeah, and I think that too, like the panic, like the volatility is going to slow down or at least lessen as these cryptos get ETFs. I saw someone was showing like how Bitcoin's price is basically kind of evened out since we got the BlackRock ETF. Like there are no like huge like 50% drawdowns and stuff like that. It's because you got that diamond hand ETF, like, and a lot of the ETFs tie into like 401ks. Like we got like really, really diamond hand money with these ETFs. And if you kind of look at the end game of these securities being tokenized and NASDAQ applying for it to be in the stock market, this is now going to have like a lot more diamond handed money into the cryptocurrency blockchain space, if you will. XRP ETFs bringing it up, Hedera ETFs, like who knows the future, right? Stronghold ETFs, like a lot of these things we might not see as much drawdown as we're used to seeing, but Rob's right, we do need hey, if people want to sell us their bags, and we'll just go and scoop them up, why not?
Well, yeah, regardless of the volatility in the higher cap coins with ETFs, you're always going to have the panic sellers. I mean, hell, you have panic sellers, the same people in the stock market with such little volatility compared to crypto. They still panic sell. Like, oh, this is falling. It's going to fall 1%. I got to get out of this. 1%. Right? Shit. I don't even. We did 1% while I was saying that sentence, right?
Right. Like, yeah, and that's why I really like. I try to tell people like try to have an investor's like mindset with it, and that way you're not gonna lose. Like a lot of people's problem with investing is they think it's fast money, and if you're like a type of person that's used to making like, okay, I go do this and I make fast money, investing might be a little hard for you, and honestly, for me, it changed the game for me when it was like, okay, well, I can have my money make money. That's amazing. Like, okay, so every piece of money I have doesn't have to be from me working. Like, my money can work for me. Like, that changed the game for me personally, really.
Yeah, you're not selling your time. And here's the other thing about the spot ETFs is, I don't know how much you've covered it, but Paul Atkins was saying that, so the SEC is set to release basically a standard for ETF, spot ETF applications. So it's going to kind of be, think about it like an autopilot, like an auto application, right? Where these there's going to be a criteria, a certain standard that has to be met for a spot ETF to be approved. And these applicants can actually just go through that automated process. We'll call it an automated process because that's my understanding of it. They're doing it because they, first of all, they know that there are millions of cryptos now, and there's no way that they can manually go through every single application for a spot ETF of every crypto out there. They can't do it, right? They don't have the manpower or the money to do it. So they created a standard that's going to be released soon, that these applicants can just go through that process, automated process, and if it meets the requirements, whatever it is, AVAX, whatever the crypto is, and the ETF application meets those standards, that base requirement, then the companies can just go through it and get the spot ETF approval done on their own without the SEC dragging out the process or delaying things, whether it's on purpose or on accident. So it's really going to streamline the spot ETF application process. I think that 4 years from now, and maybe clip this, I don't know, I don't care, but 4 years from now, in the peak of the next bull run, when we're getting close to the peak of the next bull run, you're probably going to see hundreds of already active and trading spot crypto ETFs on a variety of altcoins. It's going to be great. It's going to be commonplace. Like, people are going to say, oh, this application came in for a spot ETF for I don't know, some new project that launched in that cycle. No one's going to care. It's not going to be news, because there's going to be hundreds of cryptos with approved active ETFs, right?
Right, and that kind of goes right into what we were saying with Ondo, and how Ondo is offering like tokenized versions of the stocks. Maybe they offer also the tokenized versions of, which is crazy. I don't know why you would buy this, but tokenized versions of the crypto ETFs also on their platform. Maybe somebody opts to do it that way than to actually buy the cryptocurrency. But you also reminded me of something else Paul Atkins said this a couple days ago. Let me bring that up. Let me know if you guys can see this.
Oh, hang on, I'm trying to add it. I gotta remove mine. There we go. Yeah, okay, we can see it.
And this goes right into everything we've been talking about. SEC Chair says most tokens are not security. Backs super app platforms. And Zebek, they're one of the ones that are always talking about they're doing the super app. If we just take the first paragraph, U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission Chair Paul Atkins says most crypto coins are not securities, while outlining a sweeping plan to integrate crypto activities like trading, lending, and staking under a unified regulatory framework. So, very cool. Imagine, we've been talking about Zebek. Imagine them having that super app that has trading, lending, and staking under it. Who else could have super apps? We know Revolut has their own super app. We know Revolut is highly tied into Quant. Ondo possibly having a super app where you could buy all those different tokens and things like that. It's crazy to think about. So let's read this part 2 as well. SEC opens the door to crypto super apps. The SEC's updated strategy includes allowing platforms to operate as super apps that can facilitate trading, lending, and staking of digital assets under one regulatory umbrella. Atkins said these platforms should also have the flexibility to offer multiple custody solutions, so multiple different wallet solutions. That goes into what we were saying about turnkey. And if you go and look at Ondo's site, let me bring that up as well. They show you multiple different wallets and exchanges they have that offer or are going to be part of offering is these 100 assets that they've tokenized. Bring that up right here. You know if you guys can see this?
Yep.
Okay, so now if we go and click into this, Ondo Global Markets launches with support from many of the world's leading applications and platforms, including BitGet Wallet, Trust Wallet, OKX Wallet, Gate, Chainlink, BitGet Global, Blockchain.com, MEXC, LBank, 1inch, CW Protocol, Alpaca, Layer Zero, Morpho, Gauntlet, BitGo, Fireblocks, Ledger Live, Zodia, CoinGecko, CoinMarketCap, RWA.XYZ, Dune, Blind Eye, Whole Station, Phison, IM Token, and more. And they show their whole ecosystem of global markets here. Amazing. Dovetails right into this whole SEC thing that they possibly could have for us in the next month or so.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it all comes together, man, and it's going to be streamlined. What are your thoughts on Tether launching USAT?
It clearly shows us that there's a plan for Tether. Like they get Bo Hines right off of doing what he did for the committee. It makes me wonder if the proposed like kind of Bitcoin crash that everyone thinks is going to happen through Tether will ever happen. I doubt it'll ever happen now.
Well, I think that it's kind of starting to look like a segue into becoming compliant, because I don't think that Tether is. And I've been an component of this for a long time. I've said that Tether has always refused to have a full audit from accredited auditing firm, right? And now we have this, where if Tether USDT is fully compliant and is already integrated into all the American exchanges, why would you go through the trouble of launching, and the financial cost of launching a brand new stablecoin that you could use only in the United States? Then you'd have to unpair everything from USDT and pair it in the States anyway to USAT, right? Because why would you have USAT if you were still going to have Tether in the United States, right? So they're going to have to get rid of all the Tether pairings in the United States for USDT and have all the exchanges convert, right? And then they're going to have to offload. But for me, what that screams is Tether does not meet compliance standards because they are not backed one-to-one. What else could it be?
Yeah, the strange part to me, though, is that Donald Trump thanked their CEO, right? And then you would think Bo Hines, right? Like, you would think he would go on a prestigious type of position, and maybe he did with Tether. So then Tether must have served some purpose. Why, like, otherwise, why would you thank their CEO if Tether was supposedly doing all of this bad and were, these renegades that are unaudited and all of that? Why did you thank their CEO, Trump? That's the puzzling part to me.
Well, one could theorize, and I'm just kind of shooting from the hip here, right? That maybe Trump or whomever in the administration realized that Tether was not solvent, was not backed one-to-one, and Trump and the administration, being as deeply into Bitcoin and crypto as they are, realized that if it ever did come out that Tether was not backed one-to-one and Tether went under, it would devastate the crypto market. So maybe this is a fix. Let's slowly segue into being compliant and backed by launching a new coin in the United States. If you are not backed outside of the United States, it's none of our business and none of our concern.
Gotcha. Right? Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. So, like, okay, well, we'll just leave that over there. Let it do what it does, and we'll have this one that we can show to you guys that can be compliant. We got our guy Bo Hines; he's on it. It's in America. It's in North Carolina. This is American made.
Yeah.
Okay, we got this one. Don't worry about that one over there.
Yeah, we don't know what the fuck's going on over there. We don't care.
We don't care about that. don't even worry about that. We got the compliant one here.
Silly rabbit for kids, man.
Exactly. That makes a lot of sense.
So where we started the conversation was, I told you how I think that this is going to play out with the rate cut and stuff like that. How do you see the next month playing out between now and the end of October? How do you see it playing out? What's your map for Bitcoin and the altcoins?
Well, for the altcoins, for me, I really see a huge surge, especially in the things like that are having to do with tokenization. I see that these XRP ETFs, they happen before the end of the year. Even if they do something where they're like, oh, well, it's delayed, and here in October, they'll probably have it done before December. Maybe even they might go through with it in October because, they've shown where they are already in a DTCC, that they're already kind of names and listings for these in the clearinghouse. Like it's just a formality. When they did that with the Bitcoin ETFs, it just was a formality as well. So they will get approved. The only question is when. So I think we see a run up in kind of with the news of that.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but did we not just see the first spot XRP ETF get approved the day before yesterday? I think it was. I'm almost positive I covered it in a live stream a day or two ago.
I am not sure. I don't think they've gotten approved here in America. I know for sure you guys in Canada have an XRP spot ETF already active. But in America, I think they're still waiting. We're still waiting.
Let me check right now.
Okay. And then while Ralph's checking, so with this news that we have with all the tokenization going on, I'm really thinking tokenization cryptos will take off. And like I said, I gave my whole patrons a list for that. And, I really think these take off really crazy.
It was in Brazil. That's what it was. It was in Brazil. Right now, there is a pending one in Europe and the United States. There's one in Canada and one in Brazil right now.
So it's very interesting. They're letting everyone else get in on this kind of first before America. That's really interesting. That's interesting as far as XRP goes. But I think the same was kind of true with Bitcoin, but Bitcoin didn't really shoot up in price until BlackRock, and their guys got in there. We probably don't see the same. We'll probably see somewhat of the same thing for XRP. Wouldn't you say? Did Rob freeze? Rob might have frozen up there. If you're still there, Rob, I can't hear you. And I don't know if you guys can hear me. Or maybe it's me that's frozen. Let me know in the chat if you guys can hear me. Okay. I think Rob has to come back, or...
Sorry, man. My internet kicked out for like 10 seconds there.
Okay, no worries.
Yeah, hearing only rule. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so, I mean, it's a matter of when, not a matter of if, when it comes to the spot XRP ETFs, is what I was saying. I mean, it's anyone who thinks otherwise, I mean, I don't even know what to tell you. It's. I think XRP will be one of the next. Like I said, you've got your Solanas, your Ethereums, your Bitcoins, your Doge coins for some reason. You know, like really, but whatever. I don't see, these big whales and these institutions buying spot Dogecoin or any spot meme coin ETF. But I mean, what do I know? So, yeah.
Yeah, I don't see. Maybe if they want to keep the regular, the normie investor, if they want to like throw off the normie investor, maybe a couple guys get into like some meme coin type of stuff, but it'll probably be Dogecoin because to me, Dogecoin is not really a meme coin. When you look, having the Elon connection, being basically kind of a fork of Bitcoin, and having Marshall Hayner and people behind it, it's not really a meme coin, but to the casual normie, they see it as a meme coin, and it's a way to keep meme coins as like, oh, that's something to invest in, when really it's not for
Well,
the normie.
here's the thing about, yeah, I tend to agree with you, but here's the thing about ETF purchasers and these whales and stuff like that, institutions. It's it's kind of a double-edged sword, because while they do bring liquidity into the market, right? And this is the thing that a lot of Bitcoin maxis won't talk about, right? Because they only talk about bullish, always bullish, Moonboy. I always give both sides of it, right?
Yeah.
And the other side of that coin, like, yes, it's good. It's liquidity. It's showing institutional interest and adoption in crypto and all that stuff. Fantastic, fantastic. Here's the other side of that coin. Institutions and these whales, they buy, Michael Saylor, for example, strategy. They buy Bitcoin, or Tom Lee and Bitmine, right? They buy Ethereum. They buy it OTC. And this is what a lot of people who don't know much about investing, who are newer to this space, don't understand. When Michael Saylor, I saw a tweet that was out and I covered it, and this girl asked, why is it when Michael Saylor buys $6 billion worth of Bitcoin, the price doesn't go up, but you see, 1.5 billion gets sold off and the price crashes, right? Why is that? Yeah. It's because they buy OTC. And OTC, for those of you out there who don't know what that is, it's called over the counter, which means that they're buying it below market value, right? By Bitcoin miners or other whales who want to become liquid fast and dump quickly, right? So they'll sell it. So Bitcoin's selling at 115,000. Maybe they'll sell their Bitcoin at like 109,000 or something like that, right? So they're buying it cheaper than market. And when they do that, it doesn't drive the price of the asset up because it's not being purchased at market price, right? So it's not a bonus when Michael Saylor goes out and buys $6 billion worth of Bitcoin, because it doesn't affect the price. However, the funny thing about it is when these whales institutions, when they sell, well, the little bastards, they sell market, right? So it does affect the price when they sell market because it dumps the price, right? So it's not all sunshine and rainbows because Michael Saylor buys a bunch of Bitcoin, because he's not affecting the price to the upside. But when he sells, you can be damn sure it's going to affect the price to the downside.
Yeah. And I just want to let people know, like, kind of where I feel about the meme coins, and how Doge is almost like, I think Doge itself is good, but the meme coin space is bad. So I don't know if you guys know, like, I started my channel as a stock channel, like back in the day, like right before Rona, if you will. I'm speaking a little code there because I don't know.
Rona.
So around Rona times, they came out with these things called special acquisition or special something acquisition companies, SPACs, in the stock market. And all of the experts were like, okay, this is the best thing. It was green energy, it was space stocks, it was, electric vehicles. It was like and everything was basically like, okay, at that time, everything, all the stock market kind of plummeted. But these special acquisition companies were like these brand new companies, and they were being marketed as the next best thing. This is the future. This is the next wave. And at the same time, they were companies unproven, like brand new. And flash forward 5 years, you could have bought oil stocks at a bargain. You could have bought blue chip airlines at a bargain. But had you taken the word of experts and bought the SPACs, these unproven companies, which there were like 250 of them, only like 5 made it.
What are the chances you were one of them that, you were
Right.
holding one?
Right. Only 5 made it. And it's like DraftKings and like only 5. Now, what I mirror that to is like meme coins. So the public is given this thing like meme coins is the next thing. They're like new religions. They're this, they're that, they're other things. When you could have been investing in XRP, you could have been investing in the future of payroll or the things that are the best. But the focus is the meme coins. And maybe only about 5 of those meme coins will actually make it, like a Doge and Shiba Inu or whatever. But the majority are just going to be tragic failures. So it's like, for me, like, don't fall for the meme, the SPAC hype. And, when all of these blue chips are out here, people are thinking the fast money of the meme coin, which is an absolute, like, illusion, when like the the investment money of XRPs, the Bitcoins, the Ethereums, the ISO tokens, etc., is right there in front of your face. That's just a little PSA for that part.
Well, yeah, you're exactly right. And that's why I tell people when it comes to meme coins, people always ask me, whenever they ask me for a price prediction on a meme coin, like a target for the exit of this bull run, I always say the same thing. If you can 3 or 4x your money in a meme coin, get the hell out and roll your profits into your utility plays. That's what meme coins should be. You should be thinking about them like they're tools to make more money, not I'm going to be a part of this community. Oh, they got a DEX now, so they're going to pass Ethereum in market cap. Piss off, right? 4x your money, get the hell out, right?
Exactly. That mirrors these SPACs exactly. Okay, so Kathy Wood and all these other guys, Chamath Palihapitiya, who's Facebook, one of the first Facebook guys, they would come out and they would say, okay, look, this guy, this is going to be the future, this is going to be that. Like, okay, one example, this was given by Chamath Palihapitiya. It was his SPAC, Open Door, and it just so happens that Open Door went on a run here recently. And in my Patreon, I give people stock picks as well. But for the purpose of what we're talking about, Open Door went up to $40 a coin. Okay, again, meanwhile, all this time, oil stocks are low. Things like Dave and Buster's, things like airlines, low. Things that are staples. And oil, everything runs on oil. So if an oil stock is low, then come on. That's a screaming buy. But Open Door, this random like real estate app, went all the way up to $40. Fast forward like three years, like over 3 years, crashed down to like 64 cents. Like this is meme coins. Just like Rob's saying, like, get your 3 or 4x and get out. It's just a pool of money. It's just a pool of money that people are gonna like bring up and crash down. That's it. That's all meme coins are. Like, they're literally just this picture which somebody's trying to make hype and get this pool of money up to $4 to $5 million, and they're gone. Like, yeah, I can't do it, bro.
I see this. There's this one YouTuber. I'm not going to name him because it's not a shot at him or anything like that. But you know, it seems like every time I watch him, and I watch him often, he's always talking about this new latest meme coin, and he's like, you know, the dev's name is Jack, and Jack is trying to do this, and he's trying to build something bigger, and he's trying to do this, and they're trying to, and I'm like, it's a meme coin, man. They're not trying to do anything except make some money in GTFO, right? Like, it doesn't have to be more than that. Let's just call a spade a spade. Let's just cut through the old crap cake here, right?
100%, 100%. And you know, I feel for the people that watch that guy. I really do. That's crazy.
Yeah, but I mean, to be fair, he does actively say to everybody that, you know, that usually they're paying him to say it and stuff like that. So I mean, he does let people know that. So that, I mean, I'll give him credit for that. So that's why I didn't want to attack him, because he is transparent about it at least. So, but you'll never see that on my channel. So.
Nor mine. You'll never see that on my channel at all. No, I can't think. I always think about, like, what if it was like my mother or my sister? You know what I mean? Someone is like, okay, I just barely heard about crypto, and this guy seems trustworthy, and I'm gonna put my money in it. No, I can't have that type of karma, man. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I just can't have that. I can't have that.
Yeah, I agree. That's why I don't take sponsorships from any crypto projects. I mean, I don't know if you're at a point right now where you get a lot of emails and stuff like that from projects, and I don't even read them. I just delete them. You know, every exchange in existence for the most part has emailed me at one point or another asking me about a sponsor. The only reason I went with BTCC is because, you know, my community wanted to form a trading group, and, you know, you and Max are using them, and you guys told me that they're a great exchange, so I went with them. So, but that's different though, because they're not a crypto project that's going to rug somebody, right? Any specific individual project. Actually, it's funny because I had the opportunity in the early days to become an ambassador with Onyx Coin, XCM. And I talked to my community about it on our live streams and stuff like that, right? And I had decided that because I was doing a lot of coverage of Onyx Coin at the time, that it would be inappropriate for me to become an ambassador for the project, because then you couldn't trust anything I said after that. You know, when it came to the project, because I have a very clear financial bias and interest. Whereas if I'm not associated with the project or anything, I can simply sell my stuff like that if I see something I don't like and tell my community, I saw this, I didn't like this, right?
Yeah, that's always my thing about maybe becoming an ambassador for Coin too. Is like, yeah, now it's like I can't be truthful about it, and I can't have that. Yeah, it doesn't fit with my morality and my religion and who I am as a person. It just does not, you know. So can't do it.
Yeah, 100%. Anyway, brother, my community is getting ready for the. We have an open mic for Saturday night happening in about 10 minutes over on the Patreon. So I know everybody's ramped up for that. But yeah, we'll get it going again. I will see you on Thursday, man.
All right, for sure. Thanks so much for having me, guys. You guys are always welcoming. Yeah, until next time.
Make sure you guys go over to Rules channel, guys. Give him a sub for sure, 100%. For the greatest research you're going to find on YouTube, my friends. I promise you that. And if you want even more, like I said, we do Thursday night live streams exclusive over on the Patreon only. Max from Maximus Crypto joins us as well. Make sure you give Max a follow also, guys. You're going to want to follow the top researchers in this space. So definitely check that out. All right, brother. I will see you on Thursday, man. Thanks as always. All right. Take care, guys. God bless.